everyone, we are today back with our NCERT Polity Series. In today's class, we will be discussing about what do you mean by democracy in India and when it got started. So when you hear the word democracy, what does in your mind does it trigger? So democracy is the rule of the people, by the people and for the people, as it said proudly and famously that it is the rule of the people, by the people, for the people. Democracy in India came after independence when we made our full-fledged constitution. And there are different types of democracy. Do you know what is universal adult suffrage? We are going to discuss that in today's class. There are different types of democracy, direct, indirect democracy. That also we are going to discuss in details with examples of the countries where they are being performed. India, we all know, is the largest democracy, as we know that the population of India is also one of the largest. We are almost 146 crores and we are having a successful democracy over here. Apart from that, what are the benefits of democracy? What the citizens of a country enjoy when democracy is there and when it is not there? It's a big question. Now you all tell me, do you know about grassroots democracy? We are going to discuss that as well. So stay tuned with us. Today's class will be revolving all around the democratic values of India and how it is supporting India for its growth. Hello everyone. Yes, today we are going to discuss about the democracy in India, its concept, functioning and the significance. See, if we talk about the basic structure of the constitution, okay? Let me first tell you the basic structure of the constitution. So basic structure doctrine also talks about the democratic values. Okay. So you cannot remove the democracy out of the basic structure, because in Keshav Nanda Bharati case, okay, in case of Nanda Bharati case, the Supreme Court said that the constitution can be amended, but not the basic structure. And things like concepts like democracy, federalism, these are the basic concepts of the constitution. So today in our third class of NCERT Polity Series, we are going to see what is democracy and we are going to clear all your doubts. We will be also solving two questions, prelims types question. So whatever we have studied gets imprinted and gets very much clear, because when you solve the question you get the analytical ability to understand the whole scenario and whole concept. Okay, so let's get started. Students, NCRTs are very important for you. You should always make sure that before UPSC, state PCS, or for it any other examination, SSC, EPFO, you must cover the NCRTs. And I, Raini Simon, I am bringing you the NCRT series. Let's talk about the meaning of the word democracy. So the word democracy comes from the Greek word demos. Demos means people. So you have your people over here and you have your power over here. Okay? Demos means people and kratos means rule or power. So democracy is the power held by the people or the rule of the people. The rule of the people is finally something which we are discussing now. Rule of the people. Finally, we are discussing which is called the democracy. In essence, democracy is a system where people are the ultimate source of power. Okay, from where the power comes from here in democracy, it comes from you, from me, and the rest of the people in the society. That is the people of the society. The democracy gets the power from its people, people like you and me and rest of the people in the society. It is based on universal adult suffrage. What do you mean by universal adult suffrage? Many a times in your UPSC questions, in your discussions, in your studies, you will be reading about universal adult suffrage. Universal adult franchise means every adult citizen has the right to vote. Okay, every adult citizen has the right to vote in a democratic form of government. In India, you have this universal adult franchise which gives you the right to vote after you attain the age of 18. Okay, so India is the world's largest democracy, operationalizes this principle through regular election. So elections are held on a regular basis, we know that. correct? Be it your center level elections, your state legislature elections. Elections are going on. Even in the municipalities and panchayatiraj, elections are going on. So elections make sure that the democracy is getting its fuel. So for democracy, you need an elected representative, right? Directly from the people or represented by the people. So there are two types of democracy that also we are going to read afterwards after this slide. So for democracy, election becomes a fuel. If you are not holding elections after every fixed duration, then you will not be getting the exact representative of the people or the say of the people. So elections become all the more important for what? For democracy. As Abraham Lincoln once said, that democracy is government of the people, by the people, and yes, for the people. It's for the people. See, when people get elected and they get a position in the parliament or state legislature, MPs, MLAs, okay, they have to work for the welfare of the people. So these people gets elected and then they have to work for the welfare of the people. Welfare of the people, as in, like for the development purpose, for the infrastructure purpose, what the society wants, the progress in the society, the rules and regulations in which it has to be governed, again is being finalized in the legislative body. Okay, the parliament, the state legislative assemblies. And thus, election plays a very vital role here. Understood? So, democracy is something which is government of the people. It brings government from the people, by the people, and for the people. Okay. Accountability, it ensures that the system has accountability, participation, and inclusiveness, distinguishing it from monarchy, dictatorship, or oligarchy. So, democracy is nowhere close to all these things where you will get a dictator to rule upon, where you will get a king to rule upon. Okay. Monarchy, only one person rule, where you have your rajas, maharajas, and that they serve, and then after that, what you see in the Bollywood, people are talking about nepotism, right? What is nepotism? Like when there is an actor or actress, then his or her child will again come to the Bollywood sector. Also, the issue of nepotism again come highlighted in your Bollywood. Similarly, in monarchy, in dictatorship, in oligarchy, you will see all these things where people will not be elected, but they will get the rights from either from the family, or they will be just dominating the public. And this is how they come to power, which is not the correct way of giving power. So yes, election becomes all the more important, and you see here women, you see here women, men sitting in standing on the line to elect their representative. This is the beauty of democracy, where each and every person, after attaining the age of 18, gets the power. After attaining the age of 18, gets the power for election to elect their representatives. Now let's see the types of democracy. So democracy is again divided into two parts. One is your direct democracy and another one is your representative democracy. In direct democracy, citizens directly participate in the decision making. As the name suggests, direct. Correct? The name is itself saying that it's direct. So directly people are involved with the decision making. For example, referendums in Switzerland. Okay, you have referendums in Switzerland in which people, whenever the people is directly asked about it, you have to say for it or you have to say against it. Then people give their voting. Okay, so this can happen only in small groups. It's not possible in a huge populated country like India, where you have 146 crore people to vote about anything. So things like referendum can happen only in a place where you have your small groups to give the decision, to put the decision on. Correct? So your direct democracy can be done by directly asking to the people whether they are for it or they are against the rule and regulations which is about to come, decisions which are about to come. And it can happen in small groups, not in a large country where the population is thriving and it's huge. That is where we are one of the most populated country. We are the most populated, not one of the, But currently, we have surpassed China in population and we are the most populated country. If we talk about representative democracy, citizens elect representatives to take decision on their behalf. Okay, so there are people, they will be electing representative from their behalf, and that particular representative will be making rules and regulations and finalizing decisions on behalf of the people. That happens in India. We have representative democracy in India, in UK and US. You have this representative democracy when people directly don't take decision, but they select a representative. What do? They select a representative there. Understood? So India follows representative model with periodic elections under the Election Commission of India. So Election Commission of India is a very important body. It's a very important body and it takes elections of president, vice president, okay, your parliament, state legislature. All these elections are being taken by whom? By the Election Commission of India. So now you see which are the countries. If I give you the example, we have representative democracy. We have your Britain over here, UK, you have India, you have US. So you have US, you have Britain, you have UK, you have India. So you need to remember these examples. Why you need to remember these examples? Because when you are going to write your mains answers, you have to quote such examples, and then the examiner gets to know that your clarity is good. Your clarity about the subject is good. Okay. Moving forward, democracy in India. So India got full-fledged democratic values and democracy was adopted in India with the adoption of the Constitution of India in 26 January 1950. So this was the time when India got its constitution. Constitution of India is again borrowed by many of the countries institutions, their constitution. So what we have done is we have referred many constitutions around the world. Our constituent assembly, they have referred many constitutions, and from there we have finally finalized our constitution. Okay, and it took a lot of time, and then finally in 26 January 1950 we came up with our constitution, and democracy was one of the basic pillar of our constitution. So we are world's largest democracy with 970 million plus voters in 2024. So if we talk about 2024, we have 970 million plus voters. So that's the example of a successful democracy where people have the right to vote. And we have seen the voters count, it was almost 1000 million plus voters in 2024. What is universal adult suffrage? All citizens above the age of 18 have voting rights. So in India, previously it was 21 years and then it was reduced to 18 years. Okay. Previously, every citizen of India who have attained the age of 21 were having the rights. Okay. They were having the rights for voting. Now there is reduction in the age, and now if any person citizen of India attains the age of 18, he or she gets the right to vote for their representatives. Now there are levels of representation. You have your state level, that is you get your MLAs, members of legislative assembly. Then you have at the national level, that is you have your MPs, members of parliament. So you have your members of parliament, that is MP, then members of state legislative assembly, you have MLAs at the state level. Currently we have 28 states and 8 union territories. Okay. So India is a parliamentary form of democracy, Westminster model with features like bicameralism, federalism and judicial review. There are two houses, bicameral legislation, that there is two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, the upper house and the lower house. And similarly in the state legislative assemblies also you have two houses. Okay, we have your Rajya Sabha and we have your Lok Sabha, correct? This is called bicameral legislation. What is federalism? Federalism means the power is not concentrated in the hand of center. The powers are distributed. There is disintegration of power, distribution of powers between the center and its states. Okay? So the states also has its own powers, the center has its own say and power. That is federalism. What is judicial review? The judiciary has the power to see time and again the constitutional validity of a law. Whatever law the state legislature or the center brings, the union government or the state government brings, the constitution is amended, then all in these situations the Supreme Court, High Court, the judiciary of India has the right to time and again decide about its constitutional validity, whether this law is not hampering the rights of the people, whether this law is actually needed. So all these scrutiny again is done by the judicial review by the judiciary. And if we talk about the judiciary, we have an hierarchy. We have a Supreme Court at the top, then we have your high courts, and then we have your subordinate courts. Correct? So, example, Lok Sabha debates on GST bill showed participatory lawmaking. Whenever there was a discussion on GST bill, there was huge discussion between the different parties, be it your opposition party or your governing party, the ruling party. Okay. How democracy work is another question. So we have elected representatives, that is your MPs and MLAs. They meet in parliament or legislative assemblies, state assemblies. Now the decision making through debates, committees and voting laws and policies are free. So how the decision making process is done? It is done through debates and committees. You have heard about parliamentary committees. So whenever there is a law coming out, wherever there is a bill coming out, the discussions are made among people. And what these discussions are, they have to talk about the welfare of the people, whether such and such bill is coming. Before becoming an act, before getting the assent from the president, there is an internal discussion on it. We also know about the budget section, right? We also know about the budget session. So similar to that, we have our debates and committees and voting for becoming a bill to a law. Okay. Finally, it comes to the people, and then people are governed according to those rules, regulations. Accountability mechanism. You have your question hour, 0 hour, parliamentary committees, and just now we talked about parliamentary committee. Then you have your judicial review, ensure checks and balances. You also have no confidence motion by the legislature on the executives. Okay, the executives have to prove themselves that they are working for the welfare of the people, they are working according to the constitution, they are not breaching any rules and regulations of the constitution. So time and again the things are being checked and balanced. That is called checks and balance. And executives are scrutinized again and again through this process by the legislature. And judicial review, just now we have seen that the judiciary of the country, the Supreme Court, High Court, subordinate courts, have the right to examine the laws which are brought by the legislature. Has to see the constitutional validity of the laws which these sector bring, your legislature bring. Okay. So example, the Right to Information Act of 2005 emerged from public demand and parliamentary discussions. Okay. And thus it is very important for your GS paper too. This obviously this falls in your polity subject. So these are your executives. She is Rekha Gupta, Chief Minister of Delhi. You have your Prime Minister, you have your President, you have your Vice President. So these are the executives. Then we have your legislatures, legislative, and then we have judiciary. We have already dealt with that in our previous classes. Hope that was clear. If you have any doubts, you can ask us in the comments below. You can message us in the comments below, and we will be very happy to answer all your comments. Now, what is grassroots democracy and what are its significance. So, Panchayati Raj under 73rd Amendment Act of 1992 and urban local bodies under 74th Amendment Act of 1992. 73rd and 74th Amendment Acts of 1992 empower citizens at village level and town level to have their decisions. Example, Kerala's participatory budgeting is done. So at the village level, at the Panchayati Raj level, at the urban level, at the village level, at the urban level, you have your Panchayati Raj and then you have your urban local bodies, municipalities. They also have their own elections and they select their representative. And then their voice is represented by the representative. Whatever issues are coming into that area, into that village, to that district, in that urban area, it's been catered by the Panchayati Raj and again by the municipalities. That is grassroots democracy. Now, if we talk about the significance, it protects fundamental rights from Article 14 to 32, encourage discussion over imposition, provides space for dissent, movements like right to information, Narega demands, balance popular participation, the population gets participation. And yes, again, the reservation of women 33% and now 50% in many states, women representation. All these sectors comes highlighted in front of you when we talk about the grassroots democracy. Now you see this is Gram Sabha when people are sitting together and they are making decisions. You have your Panchayat, Sarpanch you have, and with them you have your Gram Sabha where people are sitting together with the Sarpanch and they are taking decisions on esteem important topics related to their village, related to their place. Correct? So now let's discuss about prelims questions. So today we have done with democracy and democracy is again and again asked by UPSC. Now let's see some of the sample questions. Are you able to answer it or not? So first question tells that with reference to democracy in India, consider the following statements. India follows a system of direct democracy where people directly vote on every law. Is it? Are we following direct democracy? Are we following direct democracy or we are following indirect representative democracy? You have to give the answer. Members of the Rajya Sabha are directly elected by citizens of India. Is it? The members of the Rajya Sabha are directly elected by the citizens of India. Is it? India follows the Westminster model of parliamentary democracy. Yes. This statement sounds very much clear and correct. But the first statement, my dear friend, is not correct. We don't follow direct democracy. Then you are done with option A and D. Then again you have two options, 2 or C. Again the second option. The members of the Rajya Sabha are directly elected by the citizens of India. Is it? So you give me the answer. I'll wait for 2 seconds. You give me the answer. Give me the answer in the comment section also so that I get to know that who all are the students who are active in the class. Okay. So let's discuss the answer. Yes, it's C because see the first statement is talking about direct democracy. India does not has that. India does not have, we have indirect. That is representative democracy. Rajya Sabha members are indirectly elected by the state legislative assemblies. Okay, got it? So the members of Rajya Sabha, we have two houses in the parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So the members of Rajya Sabha are not directly elected, they are indirectly elected by the state legislative assemblies. Statement 2 is also wrong. And yes, India follows the Westminster model, parliamentary collective responsibility, bicameralism. These are the things. We follow parliamentary system, collective responsibility of the executives towards the legislature, and then we have bicameralism, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and in state also we have two houses. Now the second question talks about which of the following provision of the Indian Constitution directly promotes grassroots democracy. We have studied about grassroots democracy. Now you have to talk about it. What do you mean by grassroots democracy? Which of these are actually directly talking about grassroots democracy? 73rd Constitution Amendment Act. 74th. What does 73rd talks about? It talks about Panchayati Raj. Let's talk about Panchayati Raj. Then you have your municipalities. Okay. Article 36, power of the parliament to amend the constitution, direct principles of state policies. So which one? See, first two are there. Okay. First two are there, so the option B is not there. Grassroots democracy, we have said that at the level of village and at the level of municipalities, we get the democratic rights. Elections are done, people represent, people elect their representative at that level. So, what will be the answer? Tell me. I will be waiting for 2 seconds. You can give the answers in the comment section so we get to know. So that we get to know, students. So, yes, the answer is 1 and 2 only. Because 73rd talks about the establishment of Panchayati Raj. 74th talks about urban local bodies. So Article 368 deals with constitutional amendment process, which is not a grassroots democracy. DPSP again is not talking directly about grassroots democracy. So that's all, students. We have done this polity topic, that is democracy. NCERT Polity Series is going on. And now let's talk about Universal Group of Institution. We are the first concept college of Karnataka with 24 years of excellence, with more than 8,025 plus officers produced here. So what are you waiting for? If you really are interested, please contact us. Visit our website, that is Universal Group of Institution, where you will get admissions for PUC, BCom, BSc, BA, all these sectors, MA. Okay, and you also get integrated courses like CLAT, CA, CSAT, CUET, where you can prepare in your UPSC, you can prepare for IS, IPS. You have Karnataka PCS services also, where you get prepared for. So you have to grab this chance if you're really interested for it. We also have our Telegram channel where you can contact us and get MCQs and other important things. That's all, students. This is Raini Simon, your current affairs, polity and economy faculty. And today I'm taking polity. I'm also the faculty of economy and current affairs. So we will meet again. And if you have any doubt, please message us in the comment section. We will be very happy to answer all these answers for you. Okay? Correct? Sure. We will meet again. Till then, stay tuned with us.